What's going on, everyone? Honest Onyx here. So, I was walking around, thought, instead of sitting on my ass, why not try to do something a little bit more healthy and walk, which is not a particularly good exercise, but it's better than sitting. So, I was outside thinking and trying to clear my head and get my thoughts organized about what I wanted to talk about regarding the whole collapse of the noble Milo, sadly, like Icarus, has now collapsed into the ground. Flew too close to the sun, and his wings have melted. So I thought I'd try doing this instead of sitting down. Anyway, I'll try to bring you guys up to speed. I imagine, probably well aware of the situation. It's been going on for a few days now. I was going to make a video right after it, as soon as it came out, but I thought, hold on, wait a couple extra days. This channel isn't really dedicated to news. It's not. Don't expect me to try to bring you the newest story. I prefer to keep it so watch what happens as the news comes on and then comment on kind of larger picture things. That's the idea, at least. So a few days later, Milo has really collapsed in the amount of reach he's able to have. So he's left Breitbart. Surprised the hell out of me. Book deal got canceled, and probably won't be going on another speaking tour every time soon. I don't think this is the end of Milo. I don't think the guy is totally gone. But for the immediate future, his ability to reach people, pretty limited. He's gonna have to lay low until this shit calms down. But so you might be asking yourself, well, Onyx, holy shit, what could Milo have said that triggered so many people this time? What was it that finally, of all the things, of all the trouble he's gotten himself into, what was it that pushed him over the edge? Well, to be pretty brief, to bring you up to speed, he was on the Drunken Peasants podcast. It's the podcast that The Amazing Atheist does, and they got into talking about his experience with a Catholic priest called Father Michael. At least that's what, Milo says his name is. So they were talking about consent and the kind of hysteria over, I believe it was the hysteria over, the rape scares that are going on in colleges. So they were talking about consent. And he mentioned that there's a phenomenon in the gay community of younger men and older men getting into long-term sexual and romantic relationships, and he kind of put forward this idea that this can be very beneficial because it can be a paternalistic relationship, I guess you could call it. Now, this is a very old phenomenon. You can go back to the ancient Greeks to see that this idea was practiced. Obviously not practiced very much today, thousands of years later. But people got angry, or I should say the MSM manipulated people's anger, because this shit happened like a year ago. Nobody cried about it then because probably couldn't see it as very useful at the time. They got angry because he didn't say young men and older men like I did. He said boy and man. That's basically the gist of it. So, and they accused him of saying, well, you want, prepubescent children, prepubescent boys, to have sexual relationships with grown-ass men. So I think this is a ludicrous assessment. I mean, Milo, as he pointed out in his New York press conference he was doing a little while ago, pretty sure it was today, actually, or I saw it today, at least. He's outed, pedophiles. There was a whole Sarah Nyberg bullshit during the Gamergate fiasco. Who, a couple others. I mean, I distinctly remember him talking about Lena Dunham and how she admitted to molesting her little sister when she was, like a teenager or something. So if he was, a pedophile, you totally can't see me right now. silhouette onyx. No. So I think if he was a pedophile, he wouldn't go out of his way to out other pedophiles. You know, you'd think they'd have an in-group preference. I don't know. I don't know any pedophiles I'm pretty sure I don't know any pedophiles, I guess. Hope not. But I imagine, you know, they'd be probably sympathetic to each other, at the very least. Because God knows nobody's ever going to be sympathetic to them. At least hopefully not. Fuck you, dog. But, so yeah, people were mad because he said boy. Now, boy, you know, you have to be either a deceitful worm or a really dumb autistic motherfucker if you were to say boy instantly automatically means pubescent children. You know, like how many pop songs are, you know, you have the pop star singing, you know, I love the boy in summertime. You know, that's my singing voice, by the way. Album's dropping next month. Check it out. Word up. Anyway, you know, so boy, and you know, I've used girl to like say, oh, she, you know, the girl over there is pretty hot. I'm not talking about the 6-year-old, you fucking idiot. You dumb motherfucker. Like, such blatant manipulation. And this is the other, wait for that car to pass. And this is the other thing you have to keep in mind about all these articles. You know, when you look at the headlines, it's, you know, Milo allegedly. Milo potentially. You know, Milo seems to have. You know, according. All these fucking weasel words. They can't come out and say Milo defends pedophile. Or Milo justifies pedophile. Because they know it's bullshit. And that should immediately be a red fucking flag to you. As soon as you see those weasel words. Whenever it comes, wherever, if it's from the MSM or the alternative media, your fucking brain should immediately check on, and you know all cannons of skepticism should be firing. Excuse me, because what they're trying to do is cover their asses to make sure they don't get sued for slander or libel. Excuse me. You know, because you know if they said, hey, Honest Onyx over there diddles 6-year-olds, and I tried suing them. It's a way of defending themselves, because they say, oh, wait, we didn't accuse you of crossing the street. We didn't accuse you of pedophilia. What we did was we said, you know, an anonymous tip brought us in and told us you were a pedophile. Now that's obvious bullshit, right? It's such an obvious, you know, covering of their own asses that your skepticism should be immediately thrown up, whether this is about Milo or any other subject. And this is advice for good. This is good advice no matter what your political positions are. You know, this is how propaganda is made. So, yeah, his book deal got canceled. He's off. He's not in Breitbart anymore. Probably not going any more college speaking gigs for a while. And they definitely have clipped his wings. Definitely have. I don't even think his Facebook page is up anymore. I don't know what outlets he has left where he can communicate in. Now, regardless of if you think it was poorly worded, or if you think that his whole idea that, you know, a paternalistic gay relationship between a younger man and an older man is a good idea or a bad idea, I want to try to, you know, bring the perspective, you know, zoom the camera up and look at the bigger picture here. What have they tried calling Milo? The answer is E, all of the above. Kids, take notes. Answer is E, all of the above. Try calling him a racist. Doesn't work. He brags about how many black guys he sucks off in the bathroom at, like, nightclubs. So that didn't work. Calling him a sexist. He's too flamboyant. Doesn't make sense. He's feminine. Like, he's a very feminine guy. Homophobe. Probably not irrationally afraid of himself. Transphobe. Well, I don't think he's not irrationally afraid of trans people. I don't think that. But that's sort of sticking. But it's not effective enough. Not enough people are terrified of being called transphobes. Nowhere near enough. Nazi. Not sticking. Gay Jews, don't become Nazis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, leftists. I'm sorry, MSM. Gay Jews, don't become Nazis. And you can go on, you know, like NatSoc boards. They all fucking hate Milo. That's the joke. It's like the far right and the far left both agree on one thing. Fuck Milo. I'm serious. Like, go on any alt-right, video, and you'll see all alt-right is constantly calling him, oh, he's a fucking gay Jew. He's justifying pedophilia. They believe this shit too, which I found utterly short-sighted. But I want to get into the meat of the video here. So, because no other slander label has succeeded, excuse me. It's a little hot outside. Wore too many coats. Not cold enough. It's cold outside. I wore too many coats, and I'm feeling a little hot. Anyway, because no other slander term has succeeded, what they're doing now is, scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like, it's the one thing left, and it's pedophile. Pedophile is the one term that people still balk at when they get accused of it. Nobody wants to have any sympathy for someone accused of being a pedophile. Doesn't fucking matter if it's true, doesn't matter if it's accurate, none of that matters. The accusation is still very potent, and because, C-PAC ditched him, Breitbart seems to have let him go, and a lot of other people, even some people in this quote-unquote skeptic sphere, if you will, they're starting to believe the MSM lies about him. What you've done now is just told the media that pedophile works. They can't win arguments. They've got no arguments. They've got no arguments for their bullshit ideas. They have no evidence for them. The only way that they can succeed in controlling the narrative is censorship. For a long time, that was racist. A long time, racist was used and sexist was used. But those terms are losing power, right? Excuse me. Those terms are losing power. They just don't have the kick, that gut punch that they used to have. Even centrists like Matt Christensen, I think I'm pronouncing that right, over at the Beauty and the Beta channel, I think Beauty and Beta show. I remember I saw a few days ago he got into an argument with a Spinosaurus kitten, and you have a centrist like Matt saying, during the debate, he's like, all right, fine, I'm a racist. It was some shit Blonde said. I don't want to get into it here. But you can see, a centrist like him is not scared of being called a racist anymore. He's not. It doesn't affect him because he used it too much. It's expended. It's depleted. The power is depleted. And then we come back to pedophile. Pedophile, I can guarantee you, and I don't want to put I don't know, man on the spot or something. I just was watching the video a little while ago. It's coming to me as I talk to you guys. I can guarantee you, if Spinosaurus skin, if Blonde set out a tweet about consent laws, and Spinosaurus skin tried to box Matt in to saying that he was a pedophile, I can guarantee you Matt would not have had the reaction of, oh, okay, fine, I'm a pedophile. What are you gonna do? Guarantee you. It's just not at that level. So with the fall, or with the temporary collapse of Milo, because again, I don't think he's gone forever. Milo is still around. He's too much of a media whore. Yes, I'm sorry. I love the guy. I've loved the guy since Gamergate, when I first heard about him. But he's too much of a media whore to get pushed out too easily. And still has a lot of fans too. Anyway, so I'm making a prediction. Everyone can see it now. The accusation of pedophile will now go through an explosion of use. You thought they were getting crazy about Nazis. I'm calling it now. I could be wrong. Hope I'm wrong. Make this clear. I hope I'm wrong. And, if a few months you don't see anything, well, I guess I was wrong. But I think it's a very wise time to invest in some stocks for the pedophile charge company. Don't know what they're called. Try to look them up and make a shit ton of money, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Because the MSM, like I said, can't win an argument, can't win a debate. It's got to use slander, got to use words and name calling. Pedophile works. You're probably going to find someone like, I don't know, Mike Cernovich get called a pedophile. Trump, probably someone like Steve Bannon, will start getting accusations of pedophile. Which puts, quote unquote us in the counter SJW, counter mainstream, thinking sphere, whatever you want to call it, at a severe disadvantage. Because it took a long time when the social justice craze really got kicked off at the turn of the decade. It took a long time to weather down the accusation of racist. It took a while. It took a while to do it to sexist. It's going to take a long fucking time to get people to not care about being called a pedophile. So this is probably, maybe, I don't know, you guys let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. But I think this is probably the most significant cultural loss that the right-wing / counter SJW movement has suffered in the last couple of years. Whatever you think of Milo, you can't deny that he wasn't really good at triggering, dumbass college kids. Can't deny it. He was one of the most effective weapons that could be deployed against him. He was a key war asset, and he's neutered now. I mean, this is not going to go away soon. This is not going to go away, because now Milo's ability to reach out to other people is going to be severely limited. Because the thing is, maybe people on the right or even people in the center, they might not care that much about people getting called racist, sexist, homophobe, yada, yada, yada. But one thing I can guarantee you is that the credibility he's lost with the right wing, his base, is going to be present. Because the right wing takes pedophilia very fucking seriously. Part of the whole anger over letting trans women, part of the anger letting trans women into the bathrooms, which they've been doing forever, is this non-existent threat of sexual assault. This is something, and I don't want to say that being afraid of pedophiles is wrong. No, perfectly reasonable phobia to have. Pedophobia is good phobia. But this is what I mean. Pedophile goes across the political boundaries. I don't have a whole lot more to say about this. I just want to nail that point down. This is what I'm taking away from the incident with all of Milo's bullshit. You will see accusations of pedophilia start exploding. You'll see a lot more weasel words about people allegedly touching kids or whatever, allegedly, defending, lowering the age of consent laws, some bullshit like that. You'll see it explode because you've proven that this is far more effective. Actually, I do have one more thing to say. I like to send a message to all the conservatives at C-PAC who, took away Milo's speaking gig. You people are worse than SJWs. You are. You fucking suck. You suck at your job. Your job as conservatives, to conserve the nation, you've failed. Because you don't understand culture is upstream from politics. It's something you never get. It's something you will never get. And you fucking cowards will always bend over backwards like a bitch whenever the left calls you names. You still do it. You were dragged kicking and screaming all the fucking way, you faggots, at Conservative Inc., kicking and screaming the whole time over Trump because you were so goddamn afraid of upsetting leftists. And to be clear, I do make the distinction between liberals and leftists, just want to throw that out there. You're so pissy about upsetting leftists that you're willing to, let people who have no principles. You'll hear social justice, mentally riddled professors talk about, principles are, we're in the post-truth era. We don't need principles. Well, if people don't have principles, then you cannot treat them as you would. You can't treat them with honor. You can't, don't expect the left to turn around and start weeding out pedophiles in their ranks. Leftists don't give a fuck because they don't have principles. They see principles as a convenient excuse, as a way to manipulate conservatives and even liberals to this day, or nowadays. So all you cucks at C-PAC, you conservative Inc. losers who you're not even a rear guard defense. You've been in a fighting retreat for the last 50 fucking years against the far left. Look back to the 1960s. Name me one way the United States, or even the Western world, is more right-wing today than it is left-wing. Name me one. I'll wait. Got anything? Huh? Nothing? You sure? Not one thing? Nothing? Really? That's what I fucking thought. Not a single thing. Because culture is upstream from politics. Andrew Breitbart said it best. He did. Hate to be a broken record, but it's true. And dropping your most effective sword because the other guy bitched at you is not going to win you duels. It's not going to win you fucking sword fights. I'm sorry, it's not. Oh my god. This is why I don't consider myself a conservative. I don't. I'm never quite sure where I fit in. I kind of float between the new right and the alt-right. Depends on my mood. If I'm optimistic, I guess I'm more new right. If I'm pessimistic, I guess I'm more alt-right. I don't know. But it's why I don't want to be a conservative. I'm a rightist, not a conservative. Because conservatives suck. You can't conserve anything. You can't even conserve your most effective tool. And he is one of the most effective tools at showing the hypocrisy of the left. At showing the absolute hysteria that they can cause with their illusions of Nazism everywhere. Calling a gay Jew a Nazi is a very effective way, or letting them call a gay Jew a Nazi is a very effective way of turning the tide culturally, of gaining the advantage, because it shows that they're fucking crazy. Gay Jews don't become Nazis. Period. End of story. No ifs, ands, or buts. Gay Jews don't be Nazis. And you dropped your most effective weapon because you're a fucking coward. All you faggot conservative Inc. motherfuckers who will stand by and let the left take over everything because you've got no fucking spine. You got no fucking spine to stand there and say, no, you over there, you're a fucking liar. This is our guy. And I don't want to be tribal about it. I really don't. I don't want to be too fucking tribal about it, but teamwork, there is the difference between teamwork and tribalism. Tribalism would be if these accusations were true. If these accusations were true, I would absolutely not be saying that, you should lie and conceal the fact that, if Milo really did want to defend pedophiles. So that's tribalism, doing that. Teamwork is when they lie and you stand your ground. And you look at the bigger picture and you realize that whatever you might think of Milo personally, or you think he's an asshole, he's too damn useful to throw the fuck away. Because bitches at Salon and the Wall Street Journal and New York Times and every other roach that crawls through their hallways is willing to use any fucking tactic they can, except arguments, to win the debate. You're short-sighted dumbasses. I'm done with ranting about you. You fucking idiots. And when the new right / alt-right displaces you and renders you the useless, chattering bumblefucks that you are, you've got no one to thank for your own insignificance than yourself. That's about all I got, guys. Peace out. Take care of yourselves.